Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode 5 that is of our Linked Inspiration, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and excellence by yours truly, Mentor Myron Santana, the corporate entertainer and soft skills guru. The day today is Thursday, and just like you know how I call Thursday, it's Thirst Day. Okay, so thirst for new, additional, and unique, helpful knowledge, skills, abilities, and of course, attitude. All right. So proper, right attitude to be successful or more successful in this new normal phase that all of us are living in. And I hope that all of you are doing well. And of course, as I always say, I hope everyone is safe, protected, away from harm, and of course, still trying to live your life, still trying to make your dreams come true, still trying to achieve your ideals and aspirations in life, despite, of course, the presence of this global threat we're all trying to combat. And don't you worry, because we, your thought leaders, your inspirers, your motivators, are always here to ensure that despite all these challenges surrounding us, that we still have the competence, the confidence, the comfortability, of course, and the convenience to still make things happen. So what now? What do we have for today? You guys should look forward to not only our discussion, but also the people, all right, who are going to share their wisdom about our topic for today. So I myself thought of, inviting these two people because they're very inspiring. And the best part right there is that they're a power couple. Yes, this is a husband and wife tandem in their entrepreneurial journey. So for the first part, we're going to listen to how did they make it, right? Because just like yours truly, both of them also came from the world of employment, all right? They were employees themselves before. But just like how I did it before, they made this great leap of faith to transition from employment to entrepreneurship. And I'm pretty sure that ever since then, they've never regretted, not a bit, not even once, their critical decision to do so, because they're already making waves in the industry they chose. And for the second part, we're going to talk about their expertise, which is the same nature of service that they entered, which is talent acquisition. And you know what? There's this term that came from them when they were, sharing with me their profile, digital sourcing. That really made me very interested. I have a little bit of an idea about it, okay? And I think I can define it, but I want to learn a lot more about this term. What exactly is digital sourcing? How is it done? And how can companies like the featured company we have can take advantage of or maximize the impact of digital sourcing, especially nowadays? That for sure they would tell me myself, all right, that there are challenges in talent acquisition nowadays, all right? So I don't want to delay this anymore. So I would like to introduce our guest resource people, our thought leaders for this moment, our inspirers, our motivators, our vanguards of excellence. And you guys would really be inspired because this couple, all right, CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and CFO, Chief Finance Officer, respectively, of GDV Business Services Company, also known as STACKPh Philippines, all right? And of course, they would tell us more about their business. So, but just briefly, just a preview, they're into the talent acquisition service, okay? And they're nationwide, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. And they're also into the provision of office supplies for both the private and government corporations, okay? And they are a pioneer in digital sourcing. So they're going to talk about that. And the main guy behind this, of course, the husband, all right, himself, is the president and CEO as well of Valero's Velasco Business Solutions, Inc., that is involved or that caters to collections, sales, and customer service details for local banks and international FinTechs or financial technology companies regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. He is also a major shareholder of software and development firms like Brainbox, based in Japan, and Quick Digital, based in Australia. Well, There's actually a lot more to tell about this person, but once again, I don't want to delay the learning or the wisdom we're going to acquire from them. So it is with pride and honor. Why? All right. Maybe I should also share this as well, because his very lovely wife, all right, who, of course, with him right now, is actually my high school classmate. So I'm really very happy to be learning from her. So I'm happy and proud at the same time because, of course, she was my classmate back in high school, and she herself, all right, is already successful. So without further ado, let's all welcome our guests for today, the power entrepreneur couple, Mr. and Mrs. Gerald and Daisy Jane, also known as DJ Valero. Hey guys, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you? I just couldn't help but notice that I think both of us are big fans of very colorful backgrounds, right?
Yes.
But yours is actually more colorful because I only have blue and yellow, but you have so much more colors there. So I think this is a preview to how fun it is to work inside Stack Philippines, right? Because usually multiple colors are a representation of working hard but playing harder. Is that right?
Yeah, diversity.
Yes.
Diversity,
That's
right?
what.
And it's like it comes across to me that and I'm not just pleasing you, okay? All right, it comes to me that you seem to be very cool bosses. Is that right?
Of course.
That's
If
what
you
we
would like
heard.
to think,
Yeah.
right? I thought you were gonna say,
Mm,
of course we would say yes, right? We would not say no, right? We would not put down ourselves, right? All right. And once again, I'm really very lucky to have you guys here. And if you guys are wondering, hey, Myron, why of all people you wanted to, to have us as your guest? Because really, not only because I know Daisy, right? It's also because I know your story. I hear of your story. And we have common friends like Attorney Zag, right? If you remember, of course, you guys are related to him, right? So I hear of your successful story. And I'm not sure, Gerald, if you remember this, but I can remember it clearly that when you were still like a manager in a global company, right? So that was the time when you were still an employee. You actually requested a proposal from me. You remember that? Yeah, I know. I think this
uh,
company is Myers.
Mercy.
How do you say that? There,
Mercy.
Mersk.
Yeah,
There you
Mercy.
go. Right.
Yeah.
So I still remember it, but you don't anymore, right? Yeah, yeah. You know what, Daisy? I remember that when your husband was still working for that company, Maersk. Okay, he actually requested a proposal from me. So, well, I'm not here to remind you what happened to that proposal. Okay, no, no, no. I mean, I'm just saying that right. It's like it went nowhere, right? But it's not about that. It's because I personally can attest that you were an employee yourself, right?
Yeah.
So let's
Yes.
not delay this anymore. And you guys can take turns in answering this, right?
Sure.
Number one question. Okay, so from employee to entrepreneur, what was your turning point? What made you decide? Because you were a manager there, so I'm pretty sure you were earning well, right? But what made you decide to retire for good as an employee and venture into business?
Well, for me, hi guys, I'm Gerald. Myron, thanks for having us. We appreciate the time and all the resources that you put in. Now, to simply answer your question, the turning point in well in me was when I was looking at a clear sky, trying to dream bigger from what we currently had back then. Uh, Being employed is actually one of the strongest foundations that we we've managed to enjoy. And jumping to entrepreneurship was a big decision, was a big risk on my part because I have
It
a kid.
is.
We already have a family, and nothing is certain back then, as all entrepreneurs can attest to it. That when you jump into the business, it's either you win big or you lose big. Now,
Precisely.
at this stage of my career, as an entrepreneur. It's not about losing; it's about learning. I can safely say that now because it was it all came from a good experience on my part. I met my wife in the call center business as well. In when we were doing call centers, that was my first call center job in Ortigas as well. Same building. When I asked for a proposal from you,
Oh,
that
okay, I
my
see.
my lord, like, back in '06.
I
No, '06. Yeah, back in '05.
Oh, five.
Sorry.
So was it
You,
love at first sight when you bumped into her in that building?
That was not. We are actually wave mates back then.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Funny thing is, we were actually rooting for one of our wave mates, and we were like 15. Um, we're 12 of us were guys, and then they were three girls. We
Yes.
were rooting for one girl in our wave in our class,
Hmm.
which was not her, because
Yes.
she had she was
In a
in a
relationship
relationship that time.
back then.
Yeah.
So,
Ah,
anxiety.
interesting story, huh?
Yes.
Right. It's like whoever really meant for each other, they would really be meant for each other. And in your case, those people were you, right? For each other,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. You know what, Gerald? Two things that I got from what you shared earlier would be number one, if you really are serious in becoming an entrepreneur, you should be ready to take risks, which is exactly what you did.
Yes.
You took that risk, right? Not even knowing what lies ahead, if you would be successful in this or not, right? And number two that I realized with what you shared would be it's also about when you said, you know what, we don't really think about losing, we think about learning. See, mindset is really very important if you're going to enter the world of business, right? So every time you're going to lose money, every time you're going to be rejected, every time that you won't get a big deal, and you only see it as losing, then you would definitely get uninspired or demotivated very fast to the point that you might give up and just go back to the world of employment, right? So
Exactly.
very
It will
awesome.
test
Two
you
points.
numerous times. It will get you to a point where it will you'll feel that you'll be broken after that circumstance. A lot of the challenges came upon us when we were starting the businesses, and those sleepless nights, back against the walls, because a lot of it's easy to look at entrepreneurs who are successful and not see the work that was put in.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're talking and we're trying to share stories, trying to inspire people, trying to influence them to the right path. But it all boils down to how you persevere and how determined you are in what type of future you want to have
Yes.
for you and your family. So
Vision
That's
is
right.
very important when you're running a business. And being or going back to employment is really not an option if you already started a business. So that you will do 100, or if there will be 101%, then you will really do your best to succeed in whatever industry or business you would really like to do.
oh yeah, which brings me back to when I got in touch with you and your team back in 2014, I believe. That was when I was with MERS. Um, we already started the business back then, 2011.
Oh,
Yes.
We failed, not only failed, like we failed big time.
Yes.
7 8 digits in the losses, counted out on the book in our books. But then again, you know, we have to live. We have to fight for what we want. So
Yes.
I came back to being employed. You know, started to regain confidence, started to learn again, resurface, reset my goals, and opportunity presented itself.
see, that's one thing. One of the several things we like about business people, right? That whether you're a big entrepreneur or a small time entrepreneur, right? Everybody thinks the same, that when you fail, it's not actually a failure. It's actually an opportunity for you to realize that, hey, maybe you just did something wrong, or maybe you just came short of what you were supposed to do. And that was like a wake up call or an eye opener for you to, like, okay, re strategize. Okay, do it again. Okay, correct the wrong, improve the needs to be improved, and then just take it from there, right? But you know what? Hearing those 7, 8 digit losses, wow, it must have, taken a lot away from you, right? But see, here you guys are, and you're still here, and definitely doing a lot better, right? Stronger. But you know what? One thing that really makes me curious is that, okay, so you already became an entrepreneur back then, but Daisy, were you already involved the moment your husband started the business, or at that time, no, 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 I need to be the one to protect ourselves, because just in case you would fail in that, at least I'm still in employment, all right? And I would be that person you would fall back on. Or did you immediately support him? No, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna be co-owners. I will be helping you out. So what was the story?
Yeah, we immediately resigned. And then when we
Wow.
started the business, I was there beside him, of course, doing the finance as well. Because when you're starting the business, you really need to be hands on. You
Yes.
cannot trust someone else, especially when it comes to finances. So you should be the one seeing the numbers. So when this opportunity came, and then yeah, he decided to, yeah, let's put up this business. Then it's 100% that I really also need to be there for him. So we resigned and take the leap of faith.
Wow. Wow, that was scary, but that was also very challenging at the same time, right? Well, challenging in a good way, not challenging in a bad way. But I'm just curious as well. Okay, so both of you started and grew the business, but did you like invite in partners, maybe relatives or very close friends, or it was just the two of you?
We tried.
You tried,
Right.
okay.
You
What
know,
happened, if you don't mind?
well, a lot of people, when it comes to financials, they have this concept of they have to see to believe, right?
Yeah.
Whereas entrepreneurs, you have to believe to see. So for me, it's believing first before seeing. When I was putting up the business together with my wife, we were kind of looking at the numbers. We're crunching numbers. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. This is what we do. Blah blah. And then when we presented it to a couple of investors, like our relatives, um, we never had the luxury um, of being welcomed immediately. They gave us a hard time, asking a lot of questions, and that's where we learned that nothing really is easy when it comes to putting up your own business, and it's very very much difficult if you're gonna be involving a lot of people in your business.
There you
So
go.
it's tougher. So that's why
So it's really, we really need to be
decided
very
to.
extra careful when we're dealing even with our own blood, right?
Right, yeah.
That's right.
That's
Okay,
where
you know what?
you
That's a very
receive your biggest
wonderful.
heartbreak.
Exactly. You know what? That's a very wonderful takeaway from you, Gerald, that you want to be serious in being an entrepreneur, you have to believe first to see. Because, some people, I agree with you, some people, they would like to see results first. If you cannot see them concrete,
Yeah,
tangible results, they're not going to believe in you. They're not going to help
exactly.
you out. But
Right.
the thing is, just like what I learned from you, well, you have to believe in the vision first. You have to appreciate the possibilities first, right? And that will dictate the amount or quality of work we will put in this endeavor. Is that right?
Right.
There you go. But one thing that also, of course, we have, this is something we have in common, right? Because my business is also a husband and wife business, but I cannot like compare mine to yours, right? So one thing I'm really very curious about is that um, for all the couples out there who would start a business together, would you really strongly suggest that a husband and wife work together? or or not? Or if they're gonna work together, what are the tips so that they wouldn't end up getting divorces because of the challenges of money, right? So any tips for our couples who are gonna enter the world of business together, doing it together? Go.
Tipster.
Uh, for me, it is better if both or yeah, the couple will be involved in the business, so that you could really support each other. There will be challenges, of course, but you will be each other's strengths. Whatever challenges will there be, of course, or in every decision that you need to make when it comes to the business, it should be both of you who will decide, not just one.
Right.
Okay, so um and also I think in the absence of one person, someone should be there. So I think it is really better if it will be the two of you will be involved.
That's truly genuine unconditional love, right? The best business partners are couples because, of
Yes.
course, the trust, the respect, the love, and the carrying out and protecting each other is there, right? But I'm pretty sure Daisy and Gerald, you must have had disagreements in between, right? So, how would you deal with disagreements? Like, all right, don't go home. I will not cook your food, okay? Sleep outside, right? Because you didn't say yes to my proposal, right? You didn't follow me. So how do you deal with disagreements?
Um, when it comes to those, professionally speaking, uh, you don't have to do anything as a husband. You just have to say yes.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
I
It's
think
like
what
Because
helps.
that always wins.
when
No,
it's your
it
wife,
is not right.
even if she's wrong, it's a yes, right?
It's a yes. But then again,
Happy wife, happy life.
I have like plans, solid plans to support the alternative.
I think what really helps us is that we're when we're at home, we don't talk about the business anymore, or maybe minimal. As if there
Mhm.
will be decisions that we really need to, that is urgent, that we really need to make, then we will talk about it at home. But if none, then we
Yeah.
enjoy the company of the kids, because if you will have or you will talk about issues at work in your home, then you will not be able to enjoy the kids, or we won't be able to take care of them. So we don't really talk about work at home. And when it comes to, of course, there will be disagreements, which is actually good. When you're managing the business, it is not always a yes for both of you. There should be someone who will be the no.
Yeah, but when both of you are yes all the time,
It
there's
won't
actually
succeed.
something wrong.
Yes,
Something
I
wrong.
agree.
Yeah.
It won't succeed. Yeah, especially when it comes to that. That's the reason why we are managing different, or we have different roles. So he's more into the operation side, and I'm in the finance side. So if there will be decisions that involve finance, then he's really asking me, is it possible for us to do this for operation? Then if it's a no for me because I'm the one who's seeing the numbers, then it is really a no.
That's really nice. We're really learning a lot. Guys, to all our viewers and watchers out there, these are lots of nuggets of wisdom from this lovely couple. And hopefully, you take part in this by asking us questions, asking them questions, commenting in the comment section below. And before we continue further, we just have to acknowledge some messages here from Lil Things. He or she said, "Hello po, mentor. Good afternoon." And then we have family vlogs here. Excited for a new episode. Pinky Lifestyle. Good afternoon, mentor. Pia Lawrence Sispon Villa. Do you guys know this person? Okay. Good afternoon po. Baka employee. We have Maria Loresco. Good afternoon, mentor. Black Scott TV. Hello, everyone. Black Scott TV again. Follow up another inspirational story. We have Cherry here saying, "Very well said." And Isabel Scrib, nice topic po. There you go. So we already have several very interested people watching us from all over the world because I know some of them are from a different country. Okay. Another question. You were talking about the kids earlier, right? So for all the want to be entrepreneurs slash parents out there, or who already are entrepreneurs slash parents, okay? So you guys are both involved in this very much, of course, CEO, CFO, right? So I can tell how very busy you guys are. So how do you manage to, let's talk about balancing work and life. How do you manage to still run a very profitable business like yours and still have that quality time and bonding with your kids. Well, setting aside whether there's a nanny or not. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think like what I've said, like when you were employed, you have this shift or your time schedule like 8 to 5, right? So we make sure that as much as possible, we will be home by 5 p.m. And like what I've said, we should not or we don't talk about work anymore during those hours with the kids at home. So because our eldest is already 14,
15.
Oh,
15,
okay.
so
Teenager. Okay.
is
Nice.
more into video
I'm
games.
doing the math now. All right. How old was
And
that?
then yeah, our princess, the only girl, she's 11 still, of course. She's also into games, video games as well. And
Nice.
we have a baby, 2 years old. So for the 2 years old, we really need to be there for him physically. We cannot just give him an iPad or a phone, right? Unlike the two, which because they're already grown ups. So we make sure that we have plenty of time for the baby. We just stroll in the subdivision.
Can I add?
Sure, sure. Of course. Go ahead, please.
What we normally do in the usual scheduled activities. We find common activities that can that they can that they also like
Mhm.
cooking food, merienda snacks, um, going out in the going out in the clubhouse, walking, workout, movie time, especially
Yes.
like at night. So, those things that actually are healthy for everyone. Like we go camping, um, even if it's really tiring. It's supposed to be a vacation, but it's turns out not. It's not because
Yes.
you need to like do this and all that. But then again, the memories are the treasured
Of course.
gifts that you'll have when you do those things with your kids. Now, for my eldest, it's all about making sure that we support him with what he wants. So he's not the sweetest, because at his age, it's
Yes.
not really a thing anymore.
Right.
So we have to adjust, me and her. It's a good thing that we're still young parents, in a way.
In a way.
You are, of
We
course,
know what he likes.
because we're just the same
We
age,
know what he
right?
likes. It's kind of cool at this point. So scheduled activity is number one, always.
There you
Do
go.
things
All
together.
right. Thank you so much. So, guys, we are also learning not only about being an entrepreneur, but also about parenting and, preserving and enhancing even further that husband wife love relationship of ours, right? Okay. One last question before we go on a commercial break and transition to our next topic, which is talking about, and this is the part of excellence, right? Your expertise, which is your business, talent acquisition or recruitment. All right. Of all businesses that you could have thought of back then, why recruitment? Why talent acquisition? Was it because it was either of the two of you expertise or previous job, or what was the story? Were
Well,
you a
somehow
recruiter
it's
before, Gerald? How about you, Daisy?
related to our previous job. No, I'm into operations. I
Operations.
do a lot of work, but then again, the foundation of the business is always the workforce. Most of the time, businessmen or top executives tend to forget that aspect in the workspace. So it always has been the workforce. So we just thought of like, why not support the business? Do a business that actually supports the business. So, which is very
Yes.
it turned out pretty good for us.
Because we both
That's
came from the BPO industry.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
you know the struggle, you know how to be
Oh yeah.
the feeling of being rejected if you apply in a BPO
Correct.
company. So we really feel or we really see the need for this kind of business so that we'll be able to help out more Filipinos to be employed in the industry. There is something missing.
That's the politician side of
Yeah,
the explanation. But
yeah, but that's true.
There you have it. All right, guys, we're not even done yet. This is just the first part of our very productive conversation with Mr. and Mrs. Gerald and DJ Valeros of Stack Philippines. Don't go away. We're just going to go on a quick commercial and then we're going to go on to part two. They will share with us their expertise, best practices on how recruiters can perform their job much better despite the global threat of the pandemic, and of course, the ramifications of this new normal situation we're in. So please stay where you are. We will be right back. Just gonna go on a commercial break. See ya.
See ya.
Linked Inspiration, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and excellence is brought to us all by MSS Business Solutions, guiding you to success, the leader in soft skills entertainment and development in the Philippines. CPCP, Certified Professional Corporate Trainer. Let's make training your business. Thought Leaders Philippines, your go-to company for the country's best professional corporate trainers, speakers, consultants, coaches, and facilitators. Santa Ana Woodworking. Let's make your dream come true. Miracle Maya's quality homemade gourmet to your place. Affordably good. M&B online shop. Everything you're looking for is here. And Protective Solutions Philippines. Let's keep you protected, safe, and away from harm as we all battle this ongoing pandemic. Thank you for supporting Linked Inspiration, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and excellence by mentor Myron Santa Ana. Welcome back, guys. You're still watching Linked Inspiration, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and excellence brought to us all by MSS Business Solutions, Mentor Myron Santana Brand, and Thought Leaders Philippines. And we're talking about, of course, the very inspirational and very sweet entrepreneurial journey of our guests, Mr. and Mrs. Gerald and Daisy Jane Valeros of GDV Business Services Company, also known as STACKPh Philippines, and the Valeros Velasco Business Solutions Incorporated. So for the second part, we're going to talk about their expertise, their business itself, which is talent acquisition. So what do internal and external recruiters nowadays must learn so they can thrive, not only survive, but also thrive and succeed in this new normal setup, so they can still maintain their profitability and keep their business afloat? And even with our internal company recruitment practitioners, right? What can they do so that they are able to attract the right talent who, of course, is responsive to the demands of the new normal? But before we go back, let's just acknowledge watching from KJR Dental Center Incorporated is the immediate past president and now vice chairman of the board of our organization, Philippine Advocates for Consultants and Trainers. Hello, IPP Roche. Thank you for watching. And somebody by the name of John or Jean Sate wants to say hello po. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, you can watch us on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile there. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/mentor Myron Santana, and of course on Facebook. LinkedIn inspiration. Now let's bring back in the lovely couple, Gerald and DJ. Welcome back, sir and ma'am.
Hello.
Once again, we
Hello.
really appreciate your time. Okay, let's get on to the next series of questions. Talent acquisition. So this is the business that you are really performing well now. So with your observations as entrepreneurs, what has changed in the world of talent acquisition? What are the challenges? What are, on the other hand, are the opportunities, the positive opportunities? What can you say?
Um, well, for me, the where I grew up, no, no, not I came to be a professional in the BPO industry, and I saw how fast I saw the evolution of how the employees or the people change their minds when it comes to to seeing the good or the better, which is better. I'm gonna stay here for 3 months, and then I'm gonna take off once I get pissed or once I get disappointed.
Mhm.
So the I forgot the term, but they people nowadays, like the lower generation, or they don't have the exact amount of
Nice.
patience to
The,
last.
are you referring to the millennial and zillennial generations?
Millennial is like
We're
us,
still part of the
Yeah, we're,
the,
we're, we're
the
actually,
generation
millennials are
after.
divided into two, the young millennials and the old millennials. So we
Yes.
belong to the old
Yeah, the
millennials. So
younger.
how about the young millennials and of course the zillennials, the younger generation? Are they the ones that you're referring to that they're not as patient as us?
Yeah, yeah.
I see. And what do you
People don't
think?
like to wait. Like for example, going inside a movie house. People don't. If people see that there's a long line or long queue line, they they will postpone. They will reschedule for another day because they don't want to stand there and wait and spend hours of waiting. Everything has to be done instantly nowadays. Um, relatively in employment, quick turnaround attrition is something that we are
Yes.
carefully watching and monitoring daily.
Yes.
It's happening. It's
Right.
uncontrollable at this point.
So that's really one of our number one adversaries in our business, right? Attrition. So, what
Yeah.
controls or protections have you thought of when that happens that you're supplying these talents to these partner clients of yours, and then they report to you that hey, one of the persons you supplied to us, he just left.
Okay, I'll find him, shoot him in the head. No, no. Um, well, in our agreement with our partners, we also protect their interests because we get paid per hire, and we want longevity. We honor the engagement. That's why we have a clause in the contract that we are guaranteeing the work tenure of that person. Now, in the event that that person separates himself from the company, then we will replace that person for free.
All right. Now, just
Also,
in case, for our newbie recruiters out there, mentor Gerald, mentor Daisy. All right. I'm a newbie recruiter. How can I assess in a person that this person is gonna last long and that this person is gonna be a quality hire for the company I'm gonna supply him or her to? What's your answer for that? Can the longevity of a person, can the staying power of a candidate really be assessed in your vocal or oral assessments in the screening process? What's your best practice for that?
I think what would really help for you to assess those kinds of candidates is by requesting a resume, seeing the previous experiences, how long did they last with this company, and then during the interview, you would know what they want in a company. If if their qualifications is right for the qualifications of this partner of ours, then we will there's a chance that we will refer them to that client. That's the reason why we don't have just one client. We have several.
Right. So if
Um,
this person
and
doesn't work
also,
or is not accepted by this company, then there's another option we can send him to, right?
yeah, there's a possibility. And of course, different companies have different qualifications as well. They're looking for
Correct.
different kinds of
Yeah.
talents. So when it comes to future or when it comes to like a possible attrition, what would really help, I think, is of course if you will see or you'll be able to track the previous employment of the candidate.
And Myron, just to add, to help out in the selection process, um, nowadays the recruiters are more into the attitude. It's not the skills
Yes.
Attitude.
anymore,
Yeah.
which weighs more. It's the attitude. Like when you see in the resume that this person has a jumpy profile, meaning this
Yeah.
person jumps from one company to
Jumper. Yeah.
another without
Yeah.
honoring loyalty, then that's like a point taken against that person.
Yeah. That's always a red
That's a
flag
red
right there.
flag.
Oops. I have
Yeah,
to be iffy
it's
about this
attitude
person,
over
right?
skills,
That's correct.
and
No,
skills can be trained. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, that we as suppliers and of course our clients as of course the receivers of our talents, right? It's like a symbiotic relationship. So what would you
Yeah.
also suggest to them so that attrition will not be a big problem for their company? Because we know for a fact that if you don't want your people to leave, you also have to take good care of them, right?
Yes.
That can also be factored in why they're leaving. So if there's one big tip or strategic tip that you can give to these employers to keep or retain their employees, what would it be? Especially nowadays that attrition is really very high, or maybe no, because of the challenge of the pandemic. But regardless, okay, what's your very big tip for employee retention?
Take care of their families. Make him
Oh, that's a
smile.
good one.
Make him smile by doing that.
If you take care of their families, they will stay because they're working for their families, right? That's a good one. Very short but sweet. All right. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Now, going back to my question earlier, Daisy and Gerald, right? I know that of all industries, or maybe I'm wrong because I'm not part of the BPO industry anymore. I'm not active in that industry anymore. So just correct me if I'm wrong. Of all industries, the BPO industry wasn't really very affected that much by this pandemic, right? So whether it was affected big time or not, have you observed changes that also affected how you work with these client partners of yours and how you choose people for them and even your processes and policies in sourcing people for them? Has anything changed or no, Myron, it's still the same. Pandemic or not, it's always the same with the BPO industry.
I became happier. Everyone became happier.
Everyone became happier.
Yeah. The
So the pandemic
possibility of
actually has a very positive effect to them.
it does. It did. It did actually. Seeing the possibility of doing the work at the comfort of their homes is something that they haven't explored pre-pandemic. But when pandemic came, it hit everyone. It impacted us in a way that we became resilient in such a way that we have to devise or we need to come up with ways on how to support our clients. Um, Everyone became happier because the application is faster
Faster.
and you don't really need to go out of the house to do
Yes.
so.
Yeah,
You know, you don't need to dress up,
at the
be
comforts
all
of your
sweaty
home,
and
right?
sweaty, and then wait for your turn to be interviewed. And then after one interview, you'll be sent home with a pink slip. Try again next time after 30
Like
days.
in next time.
Well,
Wait for our call.
it's yeah,
But
it's
you will
Yes.
never be called anymore, right?
you'll be in the active file, which I don't know where they keep that file because it's not
That's right.
active.
They call
So
active file, but they actually put it in the inactive stockroom, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Archive.
That's right. Okay, Gerald, speaking of the recruitment process, and I know that our viewers are very excited for this. You mentioned in the profile you shared with me about yourself, pioneer in digital sourcing. Once again, I have an idea, but I want to learn from you. What exactly is digital sourcing? What is its place in this current pandemic or new normal situation? And what are the pros and cons of digital sourcing? Go ahead, please.
Pros and cons. Well, for me, first of all, it's summed up to how a candidate can display himself in front of the interviewer. It's
Mhm.
not it's not the type of the traditional interview where the environment or the presence of the recruiter gives chills to the candidates. So application now became much easier, much more convenient to the applicant, because you can tap their hands. The recruiter doesn't see your gestures, so it actually eliminated that kind of observation, and it took away from that it took away from the recruiter itself. Now,
Yeah. Like right now, you can't see my
in
hands, so you
terms of
don't know what I'm doing with my hands anymore, right?
yeah, you can't see my hands moving. I'm not holding a pen or I'm not holding a pen.
Maybe I'm already flipping my middle finger, but you can't see it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can express yourself now
Yes.
naturally,
Well, yeah.
more comfortably.
Yes. You're more confident
You
during
can
the interview.
smile, but you're cursing at the back of your.
Yeah, and they don't experience the panel interviews
Yeah.
nowadays. Like
Oh,
when I
really?
was applying in a call center, they interview candidates by fives, right? So you will
Uh,
be really nervous. But right now they don't do it. So it
but
is a
that can still
virtual.
be done, right? Because we can be in
That
a group in a Zoom room, right? But you're saying that the
Yeah.
panel interviews are already taken out of the process
Yes.
nowadays.
yes.
Yeah, they do it one by one. It's a
Efficiency.
I
one-on-one interview. So the confidence of the applicants is really there.
Yeah,
They're more
and
confident now.
that's digital sourcing, because prior pre-pandemic we spent a lot on a daily basis, not just in our operations inside but outside, because we rent out places, fast food, hotels, convention centers.
For
We hold
caravans.
job caravans. We do a lot. We rent a lot of resources. Safe to say, like we're spending about 150 to 200,000 on a daily basis. That's for 6 days a week. Now, all you have to do is,
Just have a
yeah,
fast internet.
just have
just be
fast and
connected,
reliable.
right?
Yeah, stay connected.
Yes.
That's it.
But that is also one of the
That's right.
challenges with applicants because they really need to have a good internet
Yeah.
provider and also the devices that they have to use
That's
because there
actually my
are.
next question because even though digital sourcing is really very promising, it's been working, right? Our enemy is still technology, internet
Yes.
connectivity, how fast it is, how reliable it is. So, what's your best practice to ensure that even though the challenge, Philippines is still ranked as one of the worst when it comes to ISP, right? So, even though there's a challenge with the internet connection, that we can still enjoy the benefits of digital sourcing. So, from experienced entrepreneurs in this business like you guys, what can you say? What can you share with us?
We did a lot
Or
of it.
you can't do anything. If the internet sucks, then digital sourcing is not gonna work.
It really depends on the location of the applicant, especially if it will be going to be provinces with if they have limited resources also. So I think what would really help is that the proper scheduling of candidates. So if ever they
Proper
don't have
schedule.
this kind of resources, you could advise them to you could borrow this a laptop or maybe a nicer gadget that is going to be better. Do you have a better connection?
I'm gonna stop her right there because um, these are actually trade
Now
secrets.
I'm observing the
Um,
disagreement. Now I'm observing the
I
disagreement.
have I I want to say a lot. My
Sorry.
mind is actually pushing me to say a lot of things right now. But then again, we should stop there because it might not be applicable to all of our audience.
Yes, yes.
Um, we want to help out everyone. We want to inspire you and influence you the right way. So, best foot forward is that when you're facing a problem, you just have to go out of your house and look around. Solutions are there, Answers are
Yes.
everywhere. All you have to do is be creative
Be
and
Right.
resourceful.
Correct.
spectate
No.
for a while, like for 5 minutes, and then answers will come.
Correct. Yeah, it's like,
Very
do
effective
not
mentor
let
hire.
this pandemic, this new normal, and everything else challenges get in the way of you reaching for your success, right? Because it becomes an excuse, it becomes an alibi. I'm sorry, I cannot accommodate your call because I'm having a poor internet. I'm just on data. I'm sorry, I cannot pursue
Mhm.
this job anymore. It's okay. For me to be jobless forever. It's okay.
Yes, because if you're the applicant and you really wanted to have a job, then you will really exert more effort
Yeah,
and you will do your best to really have a job.
yeah. Just like this blue and yellow bank that says we find ways. They should also find ways, right?
Yes.
All right. And no, no, now I imagine maybe one of your questions now, right? The set of questions has also changed. Maybe one of your questions now is, do you have a good connection right now before we proceed? Are you in a good spot where
Yep,
there's fast connection? Right? I could just
that's
imagine that,
true.
right? That's actually meant to be joke, but is that true?
Yes, it is. It is.
Yes.
And are you
Oh,
vaxxed? That's one of the top two questions.
Are you fully
Are
vaxxed?
you fully vaxxed?
are you fully vax? Yeah. Show us your vaccination
Yeah, it's
card.
part of the screening process.
All right, we're not discriminating. We're trying to
We're
make
just
sure that
applying. Yeah.
you know,
And
Yes,
then
yes,
you
of
also
course.
have a
finding the
follow up
quality of
question.
consultant.
It's not just are you fully vaxxed? When is it gonna be your booster shot schedule? Right?
Yes, because you need to give the applicant like 2 days because it might have fever after the booster shot. So that will be an absence. So there are
That's
actually a lot of challenges during the pandemic, but there are also a lot of opportunities came to us.
there. Okay. You know what? I just read the one comment here, and I have an idea this is from either one of your employees or one of your friends or relatives. Stack Philippines is the best in the business, and I want to capitalize on this, right? So because for an employee to tell you that your company is the best in the business, that you're a good company to work for, right? And maybe this can be our last topic because I'm pretty sure that your company's success can be attributed to your employees who work for you or who work with you, right? So we want to become better company owners. We want to become better entrepreneurs. And you mentioned earlier, right, that if you want to retain your people, take good care of their families, but you're talking about benefits. Now, let's talk about the happiness, satisfaction, and contentment of employees. How can we make them happy, satisfied, and contented so that they will not look for somebody else to work with or for anymore? So, tips from the owners?
My only tip, she has a lot, but let me say my piece first. Pay on time.
Oh, that's right. Pay on time or be
And,
sued, right?
and the thing is, no, Attorney Zach can handle it. But anyway, um, the one that commented that StackPh is the best in the business. It's because it's payday today.
Okay,
No.
now I know. I figured. Okay.
He is actually a friend. He's a friend from the BPO where we worked with, and now he's also working with us. So
Oh,
going
nice.
back to the question, I think uh, as owners, because when we started, we always or we have this open door policy. So and we make sure that we listen to our employees. If,
Years.
yeah.
Or
So it is not just you who's gaining, but everyone should feel it also. Uh, as much as possible, like what I've said, you have to stick to the 8 to 5 because that's what we do. We're normal people now. So we do the 8 to 5 shift. So we also make sure that regarding our employees that they just do their work during those hours and we're not taking time away from their families. We also make sure that they also have the 2 days rest days, and I think because benefit wise, there are some that even if you will give them all the benefits that they want, they would not stay
Yeah,
because
the
really
best
cannot please
benefits out there.
everyone.
Yeah.
yes,
So
you just have to pay on time.
Yeah, that's
Right,
one of the
right. They would always be looking. They would always be aiming for more, right? Right.
yeah.
The
It's
needs
not that
never really stop there, right?
because for us, it's not that because we're the owners we're always right, or we know all the things how this work, or how how this industry works. We listen to everyone, and
Yeah, that's the key
they
right
have
there. Listen.
yeah, they
There you
have
go.
different
Oh my God.
skills and forte.
I
So
wanna I wanna extend this interview. You know that? I wanna extend this talk show. I wanna make this 2 hours because I'm really learning a lot from the both of you. But everything must come to an end. This is only 1 hour. So I guess for this is not actually a question, but more of encouragement from you guys. All right. If somebody like a potential client or somebody who would like to avail of your services to hunt for their needed people, that's what GDV Business Services Company does. So how can they get in touch with you? What is your contact information? Where are you online? And can they also reach out to you if they would like to get some more tips about business, doing business, and of course, talent acquisition? Go ahead.
yeah, we have our website. It's www.stackph.com. And when it comes to social media, you just have to search StackPh official. And we'll be
Our very
launching
own
our very own
app.
app soon.
Wow.
So this is going to be
Like
available.
next 2-3 weeks, we'll run a beta test, and we're happy. We're glad to be part of the to take this business to another level, and see more digital processing on our end.
There you go. That's key right there. Always take your business to the new or next level, right? So you have to be ambitious. You have to think big, act local, but think big. And the most important part, Gerald, Daisy, right? You have to convert your ambition to action results, correct?
Yes.
There you have it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Daisy Jane. But before I let you go, I just want to show this to everyone. Let's give them a big round of virtual applause. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for giving me a part of your busy time. And I'll see you guys around.
Yep.
Okay? Thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Bye. So, my God, I feel overwhelmed, right? Because this is just a 1 hour show, but I learned a lot as if we've been going on for more than an hour now. So that's how wealthy with tips, with ideas, and with best practices about not only doing business but also about recruitment or talent acquisition. Regardless if you're an internal recruiter or an external recruiter or in a business like theirs into looking for people to be supplied to different companies, right? All of what they shared would be very helpful, right? Especially in our new normal situation. It's already time, guys. So it's time for me to say goodbye. Once again, I hope that today, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., you've just been linked inspired. Okay? Once again, this is Mentor Myron Santana, and I'll see you again next week, same day, Thursday, same time, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on same platforms for another episode 6 of LinkedIn Inspiration, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and excellence. So enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Go thirst for some more. Bye.